Hi everybody. I just cut my hair today and I can't get used to it, so I'm looking at myself and I'm fanning myself because I forgot my fan back at my friend's house. And so I don't have a fan blowing on myself. Oh, let me mute this, sorry about that. Anyway, so it's kind of a manual fan time, so you'll see me doing big fan drops here to catch Bandit too. Anyway, what do y'all think about my hair? I don't know. I cut bangs and I haven't had bangs in a very long time. I'm not quite sure about it. Doug is on here, Buddy and Doug's Big Adventure, and I want to give him, it's okay baby, stay up here. He's like, it's too hot, mama. It's too hot. He doesn't know what to do. We haven't been in the van in a while, and it is really hot in here right now. It is, well, it's not that bad. It's 84. It'll cool down in a little bit, but I'm used to it being hot, and that's something we're going to talk about tonight. I changed the topic from what do we do now to what do we do now Vandwelling in a crisis, and we're going to talk about things like this, being hot in a van. But I want to finish saying hi to a special shout out to Doug, who is on here. He just got out of the hospital and is in, well, he's still in a hospital, but I forgot, it's a hospital. I'm not saying it right. Doug, it's your story to share, but I just want everyone to know you are joining us tonight from a hospital bed, and I just was shocked when I looked and you were one of the first people logged on, and it is so good to see you on here, and I look forward to catching up with you by phone over the weekend. So there you go. Let's see, what long-term skilled nursing hospital, because he is recovering. He is not in a nursing home. He's in a long-term skilled nursing hospital, and we will keep track of him because you guys know Doug and Buddy from my videos, and he did a class at my meetup. And can y'all hear that rattling? Can y'all, let me quit fanning and see if y'all, I don't know if y'all can, who has Buddy? Noreen would be worried about that. Trust me, Noreen, but Doug took care of Buddy. But I will just say that because I know it's hard for Doug to type, Doug, of course, took care of Buddy first thing, and Sue Ann's assistant and friend, and our friend Phyllis is taking care of Buddy for Doug. And so he is taken care of. But I don't know if y'all can hear that rattling. What that rattling, y'all like my fan? What that rattling is where I'm parked at my friend's house. I'm underneath a bunch of trees, and I think it's a pecan or something that's in the fan. And so it's like the bingo roulette wheel. It's got a marble running around in the fan. And so anyway, as long as I don't guess it'll gunk up anything or hurt the fan, because I'm sure as heck not turning that fan off. So let's see what else we've got going on. Oh, Roger Harris is on here. Hello, my darling Roger, and I'm so glad that you could join us tonight. I texted him not too long ago, and he wasn't sure, so I'm glad that you're on here. It's good to see you. Let's see. Thank you, Debbie. I cut it myself about 2 hours ago. I'm not, y'all have seen my haircutting video, and anyway, so I just needed something different. I needed some less weight and less heat, and so I just whacked on it. And then I was like, well, it kept falling in my face, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna take this part that's falling in my face and whack on it. So and with that, I need one of my mods to give me my first topic, because I can't even remember. Just the first one, please. I can't even remember what that is. Let's see. And thank you all. I love how you all talk to each other. We've got a lot going on in this country, and I was really glad to be able to make it tonight so that we could all connect like we usually do for our Friday Night Live. Okay, videos coming up. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Videos coming up. Let's see. Thank you, Vesta Moon. Yes, Doug, I know it will be a very long recovery, and I'm just thrilled that you can join us tonight. Videos coming up. So I'll just tell you right now, this weekend, I'm not used to my hair. I'm so sorry. I just keep looking up there and I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. Anyway, so this weekend I am going to put up a video about getting real in this day and age and what the realities of vandwelling in this national crisis and emergency that we're in. I've just been hearing some things that I'm like, that applies to RVs. Okay, that applies to nomads, some nomads that are also in a community. But when you are a solo van dweller, and anyway, there's just some parameters that I want to address. And so look for that video this weekend. There will be some things repeated from tonight, but it'll be a concise, short video. And I just really feel the need to do that. So that's a video that's coming up. And then next week, you guys, okay, so I got to Texas, got stuck on a cattle guard, and then I went to Falcon Lake State Park and met Rusty, and there's just so many wonderful things that I haven't shared with you that'll be coming up next week. You'll get to see a whole bunch of wildlife, and I went to South Padre Island and Little Bandit. Y'all can't, I put a pillow here so he would lay on the pillow so y'all could see him. He doesn't like the pillow, so I tried to get him on camera for you, and he is just refusing. I just, there you go. That's about the best I can do for y'all to see him. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. Oh wait, can you see him now? Oh good, looky there. I hope that doesn't fall off. If it falls off, I'll pick it up. Y'all just ignore it. But anyway, there's my baby. I wanted y'all to see him because I am so proud of him. And he's going to be in a lot of the videos. But what I was saying is we went to South Padre Island, and it clearly was his first time to be on the beach. And this little darling went nuts. He absolutely loved it. And I can't wait for y'all to see that video. So there's a lot coming up next week and in the next week that you'll see. But so please watch for that. And oh, it looks like it's cold in some places. Noreen, I hear you, and I'm going to discuss that here in a little bit about owning your own land and place to land, and owning your own land with a place to land. That was kind of funny. Anyway, I see that some of you are in some very cold parts of the country, and be safe, take care. And so you're either, down here and I'm hot, and anyway, no worries about being late, Lauri. Just glad you could join us. All right, what's my next topic, you guys? I'm so sorry. I just don't have... Okay, so my good friends, Chuck and Letty are on here, and I'm staying with them. And Letty's like, quit saying I'm sorry. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And so anyway, no, it's not I'm sorry. Oh, it was thank you, too. She's like, quit saying thank you. I'm like, well, I don't know how to quit saying thank you because I am so grateful for so much. But anyway, I'll try to quit saying I'm sorry. I'd gotten out of the habit of that for a long time. Okay, my meltdown in my current situation. That's hi Jeff. That's in Midnight Run Kennel. Look at all you on here. I don't know how many I have on here. Now I've got 44 of you that are joining me on this tumultuous Friday night. Thank you so much. And thank you, mods. Before I continue, I have a lot of mods on here tonight, and so y'all are seeing a lot of blue tool wrenches, and the reason for that is because a lot of my mods can't be available every Friday night. It just so happens that they are tonight, and so it looks like everybody's a mod, but that's why, because when 2 or 3 can't be here, or even just 2, and each one of them does something very specific, then it really taxes the others. And so I have 2 that do links, actually 3 now that do links, Robert, Lauri, and Noreen. And Noreen's all 3 are always Johnny on the spot, but Robert had to be gone and Noreen had to be gone, and so Lauri picked up the bill on that. And then Gina, well, they all, of course, are here to keep me straight. But then Gina always helps me track things and communicates with me afterwards on things I need to follow up on. And I've said it before, but I want to say it again, that sweet Joan is also on here, and I know she's watching, but she's not commenting. So say hi to everybody, Joan. And she always is the one that does the time markers afterwards, so that if you go back and look at the video description or the pinned comment a couple of days later, the time markers are on there and you can fast forward to topics. So, hey Mike, you finally found me. You had trouble finding me. That's not good. That's my cousins in Texas, as you all know. And now I got to scroll back and see the topic because I already forgot. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. Hang on. Thank you, Midnight Run Kennel. I just cut my hair about 2 hours ago. It's still wet. And I keep looking at it, messing with it, and I'm sorry for that, you guys. And and we'll talk about this silver in a minute. But anyway, because I'm so not used to it. I know it is a Southern thing, Gina. Thank you, and I'm sorry. It's just in my blood. Okay, my meltdown and current situation. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm ready. So I am able to be on this live chat tonight because of my Earth Angels and a lot of love and support that I'm getting from a lot of you that are already on here tonight, and thank you again. But I had a major meltdown today. It's been building, and it has to do with the topic, one of the topics we're going to talk about tonight, about vandwelling and what to do. I just lost it, and it was after my trustee David talked to Chuck. I'm staying with Chuck and Letty. Let's see, there was a two-part of this topic. Hold on. Oh, and I've got notes. That'll help. Hold on, let me get my notes out. I did forget. Never mind, mods. I do have my notes, if I can understand them. Hold on. Oh, I didn't write anything. It doesn't do any good if you don't write any notes. But let me see. Hold on. I've got this. Okay. So anyway, I had a meltdown, and I'm staying with my friends Chuck and Letty, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. And David, my trustee, talked to Chuck because I don't quite know how to break this up, because we're going to talk about it in a minute about off-grid versus sticks and bricks, and we're going to talk about vandwelling versus RV. That's some topics coming up here in a little bit. But my meltdown had to do with just like the rest of the country, the rest of the world is feeling right now, that state of flux, that state of limbo, and being stressed from everything that's. Can y'all? I know. Look at Bandit. He's like, "What is that noise, Mom?" I think my fan's gonna be okay. Ow! It is what it is. Anyway, everything that everybody is feeling, and looking at the uncertainties of where to go, what I was going to do, and I'm going to tell you about what has been determined. But today, David and Chuck had a phone call, and I haven't been able to think my way out of a paper bag. Chuck and Letty are very gracious in letting me stay with them, and they had said, let's look at it 1 week at a time, and we'll look at what we need to do next week. So that meant to me, yeah, Robert, we're going to talk about that in just a minute. I think that's going to come up in topic number 4. But in Freedom Dove, I'm going to get to how I'm feeling here in just a minute. Anyway, so a week out. So I have been trying to make plans and decisions on what I was going to do next week. Because one thing with my brain injury is it turned me into a very literal person. And by the way, see all this love to all the states that I'm sending you out, guys? I'm sending it out worldwide, but I decided to wear this t-shirt tonight and my love earrings to send everybody love. Shoot, I forgot what I was saying. I got to quit doing that. Squirrel. Trying to figure out what I was going to do next week. And the truth is, and we'll talk about it more in a moment when I talk about vandwelling versus RV and sticks and bricks versus off-grid, it was getting very precarious with all of the news breaks and news flashes and everything that are coming out every day. It was getting really scary. And yes, dental hygienists, there's so many of us, and you guys feel free to share your stories on here, and maybe I will address it in my video tomorrow as a follow-up to this live chat. So I know I'm not unique. Everybody has been affected. And Chuck and Letty today told my trustee David that I can stay with them as long as is needed, and that we'll still continue to take it 1 week at a time. But the thing that they took away from me, because that's what I was saying, is because I don't do gray. My brain, with my brain injury, is turned very literal. I know limbo and being in this state of flux that the nation is in is hard on everyone. But when you have a brain injury and you can't figure anything out, I mean, it's hard enough to figure things out. In my trip and everything was planned out, and I was going from point A to point B, and that was hard enough. And then you take those points away, and then you throw in all the factors we're going to talk about in a minute, and it was just impossible. And so what they told me today, and I just lost it, is that I can stay with them. And David told me to quit thinking. This may not be his exact words, but to quit thinking and just wait until he and Chuck or Letty tell me what my next move is, and that I am in safe hands until then, and that if they have to leave, because this is not their primary home that I'm staying at with them, it's in Orange, it's their beach home, then that if they have to leave, then I might go with them, or if it's okay, then they'll let me know it's okay and help me figure out where to go next. And they just kind of took that off my plate, and how blessed am I for that, because I've gone days, y'all could probably tell if you look at me closely enough, I've gone days without really sleeping, and I was starting to have TBI symptoms and be episodic. And I can see that y'all are sharing like I asked you to, and thank you so much. And look at that. A friend in Mississippi said his Walmart is calm and the shelves are full. I'm not seeing that very much, but I'm so glad to see that is happening somewhere. And we're going to talk about that. And so God bless all the caregivers. That's right. And that's what I want to say next, is that Chuck and Letty, I know you guys are watching, and I just want to say this publicly, because I wanted to say that everybody that is stepping up and helping other people, it's like Chuck and Letty, they what a gift they've given me. I mean, I'm really looking forward to going to bed tonight and sleeping. I haven't slept in a very long time, and my little dog is so clingy because he can feel something's up. But they didn't give just me a gift. David, my trustee, is a minister of a large church in Denver, Colorado, and he has been worried about me and trying to help me figure this out. And they lifted his spirits and took a burden off his back of having to worry about me, so that he can pay attention to his congregation and the parishioners that are even staying with him, and so that he can help them. The people that have been trying to help me figure out where to go, and my friends that have just been so wonderful to me, and when I text and I ask for information, it frees them up, and it frees me up. Chuck and Letty, what the gift you've given is so that I am now able to concentrate on paying it forward and being of service and looking to see what I can do for others, instead of being just quagmired down in trying to think of what I'm going to do, where I'm going to go next week. So everybody, give them some love, and give all caregivers love. And I'm going to tell you next about their neighbor that is also spreading the love. And that's what I want us all to do, is do what you can and spread love. Yes, Doug. That's one of the things in the news media, and everybody's talking about it, about how this is a horrible situation worldwide. but it is also allowing people to step into expansion and when you can. I mean, you have to have your basic needs met, your food and shelter, which was threatened for me in my perspective because I didn't think I could make it out on the road by myself and with all that's going on. I don't think I would have been able to. So you have to have your food and shelter and basic needs, and you have to be healthy. But if you are, and this crisis is going on around you, it allows us to come together as a nation, as individuals, and do what we can to help. Having said that, I also want to give Gina a shout out. She and her husband mailed us a care package today of some things that we haven't been able to get our hands on and that they had. And so there's an example. And Chuck and Letty's neighbor, he is a young fit guy. He came over, he stayed out at the front of the yard, and we were on the porch, and he was saying that he has, and I'm going to get to y'all's comments and everything in a little bit, I promise, but he was saying that he runs 5K every day, and he's got 2 young kids that are home and they're well, and he's keeping them sequestered, so he just felt like his odds were good, and he encouraged us to not get out and go for groceries or anything. They exchanged phone numbers, and he's willing to do our shopping for us locally. And we are very blessed because I think Monday we looked before I came to the live chat, and Monday Chuck and Letty were able to go to the store and get us some things. But like Robert shared earlier, the stores there in his town where he's at in Wyoming, he sent pictures and the shelves are wiped clean. And so, you know, people are stepping up everywhere and being earth angels, and I'm so proud of everyone. So I'm going to just quickly, before I go into off-grid versus sticks and bricks, that's what we're going to talk about now. Yeah, live as stress-free as possible, and I always tell you, and I mean it, keep on keeping on no matter what, and life is good no matter what, and I do believe that. Even in these times, I do believe that, and I had a meltdown because I was going to be in peril out on the road by myself. There's no getting around that. And I really needed to, and I hope that I would have. Chuck and Letty came to the rescue and worked with David so that I don't have to even worry about it anymore. But I hope that I would have gotten to a point where I was in complete acceptance. I mean, I've made it through a brain injury, and then 10 years later a brain surgery. I've lost everything, first with the brain surgery and rebuilt, and then I can't, you know, I mean with the injury and rebuilt, and then I lost everything with the brain surgery, and have been living this wonderful life as a nomad. And then I was given Aricept in July that gave me my life back. And I am so blessed beyond belief. And I went through the most horrific childhood that you can imagine. And so I have overcome a lot in my life. And this just undid me. And so I do maintain that try to be as stress-free as you can and have as much faith as you can. And I had a meltdown today, and I am blessed. And so I get it, and I'm not being glib when I say that. But we'll talk about that in a minute, about what we can do. Let's talk about off-grid versus sticks and bricks. Let me see what everybody's saying. Let's see. Yeah, the nation is pretty much shut down. And Debra VanSandt, I wish you had that kind of neighbor too. And I hope that a neighbor steps up if you're in need. You know, maybe I need to start tracking where people are and where you're in need. And I know another YouTuber is doing that, but I know that a lot of people that follow my channel are close-knit, and I think I'll do that even on Patreon, and maybe do that. And Noreen, we're going to talk about the AC and possible things here in a minute. Let's talk about off-grid versus sticks and bricks. Okay, so that and in fact, number 5 after this is going to be AC. in topics, and so we'll talk about the AC unit. But first, let's talk about off-grid versus sticks and bricks. Okay, so if you are in sticks and bricks, you want up, baby? Is it too hot? He's like, I'm so hot, Mama. If you're in sticks and bricks, you have a pantry. Okay, if you're in an RV, you might have a small pantry. If you're in a van, you don't have a pantry. If you're in a car, you certainly don't have a pantry. And so if you're in sticks and bricks, you have a pantry, you have places you can put extra groceries. And I'm not encouraging hoarding. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you can buy for more than 1 week or 2 weeks at a time. You can do canned goods that can last you. Basically, you know, there's people that they're devoted to being ready for emergencies, and you have to have storage for that. Groceries here in my van, fresh groceries, because of the size of my refrigerator and everything, and I'm one of the blessed ones to have a refrigerator. There are many nomads out here that don't have a refrigerator, but even then, like fresh meats or anything, or even produce, isn't going to last but a few days. And canned goods, I only have room. I can do enough groceries to last 2 weeks. I can do enough water to last a week. And that's another thing, you know, in sticks and bricks, you can stay home. You don't have to go out and get water. If you are in a van, and if you're in an RV, you can have unlimited water if you hook up, or you can have huge tanks. In a van, I don't have that. I can carry at the most, unless I like step over them in the aisle, about 7 or 8 gallons, and that's about a week's worth. And I am hearing repeatedly from nomads on the road that finding water is difficult, and because stores may or may not have them. They may have them today, and they may not have them when you need them. So it was just a real issue, and that's not to mention butane and propane. Getting gasoline. So far, gasoline prices have gone way down, which is good. But I can remember having gas lines out the yin yang, and during one national emergency. The bathroom, you know, RVs, no butane. I'm hearing that from more and more people. And that's always hard to get, let alone now. Oh, Linda, thank you. Be well and don't worry, Deborah and Bandit. I'm good. I just want people to understand that it's different for nomads. This national crisis is difficult enough, but it's different for nomads that might be out on the road. The bathroom, the big toilet paper thing. Well, you can't store much of that in a van. You can store some in, if you had to or need to or want to, in an RV, but not like you can sticks and bricks. And if you're in a van that isn't self-contained, like I consider mine to be, you have to find bathrooms, and gyms are closing, and all kinds of things are happening. And trash. I just now today heard that somebody went to the public dump, and it was closed. It was down to limited hours, but I think it was 1 day a week going to be open to the public. I mean, they were still doing trash runs and everything, but open to the public one afternoon for 4 hours, and it was like 4 days away for this nomad. Well, they can't stick around. I wouldn't be able to stick around. You got to keep moving. And so all of the things that we do as nomads has just completely gone, as Vandwelling nomads, has just completely gone out the window. Showers, I don't know if you'd want to even risk that. I don't think I would, but more and more showers aren't available. Doug, bye, sweetheart. Rest well. I'm looking back over y'all's Vesta Moon. I mean, if you're in sticks and bricks or a large trailer, you can do all kinds of things to get through this. But and Lauri, you're asking if I'm in a place where they do Uber Eats or DoorDash. We're taken care of because I'm staying with my friends and our neighbors and Nextdoor app. But everybody that's on here, take note of those apps because they are awesome. Uber Eats, DoorDash, local Facebook groups are offering delivery, Nextdoor app. There is a lot of apps that can help during this time. Let's see. Gina, I'm going to trust you, sweetheart. If there is something I need to address, to give me apples before and after, because I am way behind on comments. But I just felt like saying that difference between sticks and bricks, and I'll address RVs in a minute, it is important for people to understand. It is different for those of us in a van. Good deal, Vesta Moon. She's a lifelong prepper. I am so glad to hear that. And hi, Dennis. Welcome. That's my good friend Dennis, everybody that just joined us. And good for those of you that are always prepared, and good for those of you that can either that came into this prepared or got prepared quickly, or have the ability to get prepared and stay that way. In a van, that's not possible. I'm just saying, it's just not possible. And so topic number 5 is the AC. Yes, and my good friend Chuck, before we worked all this out, he had offered to help me get a, I'm good, Deborah, who said that? Thank you. I don't know who said that, but thank you for saying that, Gina. I appreciate it. Must be in the genes. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, the AC. He offered to help me get an AC put in my back window. So I would need to plug in, but it would allow me the liberty of doing that, because down here in the South, and even Texas and Arizona and other places, I have an even smaller window for tolerating heat because of my brain injury. My thermal regulator was damaged in the brain surgery. Not what's that word? Wasn't anything they could do anything about. It's not that anybody did anything wrong, but so I can't get too hot and I can't get too cold, even more so than anybody else. And so I've got that as a factor as well. So I can't stay in I had my stepsister offered her driveway, and I could go do that if I had an AC, but she has a lot of people living there, and it's real tight quarters, and that wouldn't work. But I'm just, the AC or the lack of an AC is even further limiting as a nomad. Heat is no problem. I've got the heat down again, thanks to Dennis. He got me the Wave 3 Olympian heater that just, I have no worries about being cold anymore whatsoever. Bandit and I are fine on that. But when it comes to heat, I would have to keep moving. And if I can't get those supplies that we just talked about, it makes it treacherous. And so there's just been a lot of stuff about, oh, it's better if you're a nomad and on wheels, and I just want to say that that's just not necessarily true. And in this day and time, it might be a little bit glib to be saying that. It is a wonderful life. I love my life. It has saved my life. And that's why, another reason why I have my meltdown and why I've been having so much trouble is because my life that I've built the last 5 years, the one that I've depended on and that has gotten me this far, has just been ripped out from underneath me with COVID-19. And it is I will be sharing in my video this weekend about, it isn't going to be life as usual anymore for anyone, I don't think, but especially for me as a van dweller, and I'm guessing for a lot of nomads. So we're going to talk about some things to do to not feel isolated. Let's see what's next. Y'all are right on topic, because that's going to be my next topic. Hi, Howard Moses. And let me see, does anybody have any questions about anything I'm saying, or feel free to disagree with me. I get it if you do. I'm just saying that it's just. Oh, thank you, Kaylee. I cut my hair today, just about 2 hours before the live chat. I'm not used to it. Yes, and thank you, Lauri. I do have this now because of Chuck and Letty, and I am blessed. But no, I maintain, if I'd had to get on the road I don't think I would have done so well. I know that God is large and in charge and has always had my back and would probably, not probably provide, but there are no guarantees. We've had a lot of deaths over this, and we don't know where it's going to hit bottom before we can start rebuilding. And so when I say that I wasn't sure I would make it, I am not questioning my faith is intact. I believe that God takes care of us and that our needs are met, and there are situations where sometimes people just don't make it, and I felt like going out on the road with all of these conditions was putting my life at risk. And I was even thinking about asking Chuck and Letty if I went out on the road to keep my beloved Bandit, because I just didn't think I was going to be able to make it. So thank you for saying that I've got this and that I would be okay. But if I had gotten out on the road, or had to go out on the road, I'm not so sure that would be true. And that's what I want to drive home tonight, is that people that are telling others to leave sticks and bricks and get in their vans or cars, that they're better off as nomads, I just want you to know that I'm offering a different perspective for you to consider, and that this, I think, needs to change the face of how we do van dwelling and car lives. And I wouldn't trade my life for anything. I would like to have been able to pulled into an RV park and plugged in and not impose on my friends. I would like to remain self-sufficient and independent and not be in the predicament I'm in today. So I can't afford an RV at this point in time, and I can't do all of the systems, the black, gray, and the black tank and the gray tank and everything because of my brain injury. I can't do that, but I can live in an RV like it was still the van, and have things like a kitchen and storage and an AC and those things that this crisis has driven home, that I'm just not safe anymore out here on the road. And maybe I shouldn't share it right now live because it's so raw for me to realize that. It's kind of like after you've been robbed in your home and you don't feel safe in your home anymore. That's what has happened. And yes, Ginger Snap Judy, it wasn't a choice, it was a gift. It wasn't like I just chose it, they gifted it to me. She's saying staying put at Chuck and Letty's was a very wise choice. It wasn't a choice, it was a gift that they gave me, and so I'm very, very glad for that. And yes, so Linda Barker is asking Robert to share how he is going to do things as a nomad differently, and maybe Robert will put up a video about that. That is what I'm going to also share this weekend in the video that I was telling you about. And one of the things is I'm going to make sure that I want to think about that overnight. I've been thinking about it, and I know some things that I'm going to do, but I don't want to just say it off the cuff. I'll share it on my video this weekend, and I think it's going to. The title will start with "Let's Get Real," and I don't know what the rest of the title will be, but watch for that video. All right, so let's see. So let's talk about some things that you can do while you're self-isolating and social distancing. And I hope that everyone is doing that. One of my friends really scared me tonight. She was going to a campfire with a bunch of people in the caravan, or a caravan, not the caravan. I'm not saying that, but it was people in a caravan. And she was going to go with them. And I just want to encourage everyone, please, think about it this way. Don't think about it that you are protecting yourself or preventing yourself from getting infected. I think at this point, Letty shared a meme with me today that instead of thinking of it as prevention or self-protection, think of it as if you are already infected and saving other people from getting infected because of you. We just need to buckle down a lot tighter, I think, than we are. And but things that we can do, just like Chuck and Letty's neighbor, it has offered to do our shopping. Reach out, like Gina said, to the elderly and your neighbors and check on them. You can do that from a distance. If you go do something for them, you can drop it off. You don't have to, and their neighbor is even offering to Lysol spray it and everything, and then we'll do the same thing before we bring it in the house. Things that you can do without having to have contact, and wear gloves and a mask. All of those things can help, but things that you can do while you're self-isolating. Give yourself a haircut. I mean, my hair, I don't know if y'all can see all that gray, but I can't go to a salon, so y'all are going to be seeing my hair turn gray and silver again, because I'm not going to risk going to a salon just to get my hair colored, and I don't do the box. Last time I did that, it was a disaster, and I'd forgotten about that, and a friend reminded me, do you remember what happened last time you tried to color your hair? So I won't be doing that. And but you can cut your hair. You can do manicures and pedicures. You can, this is some of my stuff. Y'all start sharing what you think you can do. Mostly spread love. However you can come up with being able to do that, that's what I'm going to focus on, in addition to doing my YouTube and writing, and I'll tell you all about my writing project in a minute and what I've done. But I spread love, find a way to do that, and you can do hobbies, projects that you've been wanting to work on, learn a new skill. What are y'all saying? Very soon, everyone will know everyone's true hair color. Hopefully, I do. And the other thing that you can do is order delivery or takeout. And if you have money, if you have extra money, and you are using services that you're not using anymore, like if you have a hairdresser that you go to every month and you're not able to go, can you please consider still sending them the money that you would have? Because all of them, services like that, they're, and the waitresses and everybody, they're not getting paid anymore. And so even after we get past this virus, we're going to feel, and I know money's coming from the government and everything, but I think we're still going to feel that crunch. So that's another way that you can pay it forward, and something else that you can do while you're at home. If you have money, and even if you're not going to use it, buy gift certificates online from restaurants, and one day when this is over, you can give them away if you're not going to use them. I just encourage you every day to do something that helps someone, even if it's a business. So let's see, what are y'all saying that you can do? Let's see. Friends help friends. I want to address something. So Susie is saying friends help friends no matter what. Susie, I believe that is true, but you guys, I was shocked at the family members that told me, no, you can't come here. We don't want to take a chance on getting the virus, and I get that. And I know that my family, a lot of my family, I've shared with y'all before that I lost a lot of my family when I lost my large income. I lost more of my family when I went on disability. And then I lost most of my family when I moved into a van. And to have, and my cousins Cindy and Mike that are on here, they said come stay here, but she is already caring for her mother who is bedridden, and it would be a long drive to get there. So I do have family members and friends, of course, that said, but mostly I've been shocked at the people that are like, nope, sorry, and then the others that didn't offer. So. I think that's why it's so important to me to start giving back. That's not why, but it's one of the reasons that I want to make sure that if I can make a difference in somebody's life, that's what I'm going to do moving forward. Vesta's saying she's crocheting and doing other crafty stuff. Today, Letty and I heard that some people are sewing face masks out of materials and putting the bands, you know, and it might not be surgical. It might not be surgical mask with triple filters in them, but it would be something, and that's something that can be shared with other people and mailed even, and bless our postal workers. And walk, you know, well, I don't know how you would walk somebody's dog without getting close to them, but I'm trying to see, what all are y'all saying? What have y'all come up with that we can do while you're at home? And that we can do while we're doing this? Paper crafting and making decor items for your house. You can do that, and you can make gifts. Buy Freedom Dove. Yes, they just closed the beaches here in Alabama today. Vesta Moon. She's saying that the spring breakers worried her. Oh, Deborah, I'm sorry to hear that your trailer is still with the dealership. It is purge stuff. That's right, Susie. That's one of those projects that I was saying. We've all got things that we've talked about. One day when I have time. Well, you know, let's oh, you bet, Freedom Dove. Take care, honey, and stay in touch. Play games online with others. Gina, see, I hadn't even thought about that. I got to get something off my screen. Sorry. I hadn't even thought about that. And learn a new skill. That's right. Linda Barker is saying that she's going to learn to play the ukulele. And I was wondering how you spelled that. Somebody asked me here a while back how to spell ukulele, and I didn't know. I took a stab at it, but I got it wrong. Making a memory quilt, sewing, projects, crafts, hobbies. And doing things for other people, virtual tours of parks and museums, education. I would consider that education, and that's a great idea, Lori. And to-do lists. So you guys got it. You can come up with all kinds of Google Drive around the world. Susie, that's awesomeness. That might be what I do from now on. No, I'm not going to give in and give up, but I'm learning ASL. Good for you. That is awesome, Mary King. I used to be fluent in ASL, sign language, and Spanish. Obviously, am not, but I used to be. In anything like that you can do. And then Letty got to FaceTime with her granddaughter today, and her granddaughter called her back later and sang to her because they just love, they're so close, and I just love that. And that's part of staying in touch with somebody. But if you learn a new skill, then maybe if you have grandkids or even just friends or neighbors or something, do online you can do, or on your phone, you can do FaceTime or Zoom. A lot of people are learning about Zoom and getting together with their families online and friends. And I mean, if you use Zoom, you can do just about anything together online, and you can teach each other what you've learned. So I just wanted to throw out that my great-grandmother used to say, I shared this with Letty the other day, my great-grandmother used to say, Deborah, because she couldn't say Deborah, she went across the country in a covered wagon, you guys, and lived until she was 98, but she used to say, Deborah, you just got your dauber stuck in the dirt, and Lord have mercy, have I had my dauber stuck in the dirt lately. But now that I am not worried about literally dying, I am going to do what I can to give back, and I just encourage everybody else to do that. Lauren, bye. Lauren is another one that is awesome, you guys. And Lauren, I didn't see that you were on here. Love you, and you keep on keeping on. Thank you, sweetheart. Let's see what else. Anyway, I haven't been doing these things that we're talking about tonight, and that's one reason why I wanted to see what you guys were up to and what I know. Dauber stuck in the dirt, isn't that great? My great grandmother was so awesome. She really was. But she would just say, Deborah, you got your dauber stuck in the dirt, hun. That's all. So Oh, you saw a child's birthday party with all the grandparents on FaceTime watching him. That's awesome, Gina. And I saw where somebody, his father was in a nursing home, and so he went and put his chair outside his father's window at the nursing home, and talked with him on the phone so they could see face to face, because I'm assuming his grandfather wasn't tech savvy or anything, and so, but he sat outside his father's nursing home window and talked on the phone to him, so that it was more like he was there in person, because you really can't and shouldn't go visiting in person. So let's see. And rediscover them if you can. Oh, my writing thing, this wasn't on a topic, but we'll leave it under things you can do while you're self-isolating and social distancing. So when I after TBI rehab, I worked with Angelique at a company called Write for Healing, writeforhealing.com. You guys look her up. That's another thing. Take an online course. Go to Write. Somebody get that if you can, get that link for me and put that up. I'm sorry, mods, I didn't tell you about this sooner. It just came to me. But anyway, writeforhealing.com, Angelique. And she's the reason that I had my first book published, because in TBI rehab, they asked us, what is the number one skill or function that you most don't want to lose? And for me, it was my ability to write. And so when I told them that, they hooked me up with Angelique, Write for Healing, and she works with TBI patients, clearly, and veterans, and just all kinds of things, and helps people maintain and improve their writing skills. And you can see her classes online. Oh, thank you, Robert. And she has a lot of stuff like that. After I got out of TBI rehab, we continued to work together, and she worked with me for almost a year, until she's like, you are going to publish a book, even if it's a book of short stories. So in case y'all are wondering why that book is so thin and why the short stories are so short in Kaleidoscope 9, it's because it was started when I was in TBI rehab after my brain surgery, and Angelique worked with me for a year and wouldn't let me give up on writing. And the Kaleidoscope 9 was a result of that, and then since then I've written a second book. And as you guys know, I have been saying I have books that I want to write. Oh, thank you, Robert. I appreciate you so much. And Lauri, thank you. Perfect. And so there you have it. You have the one from my website. You have a link from my website, and you have a link to go to Amazon. And both of my books are on Amazon. And I've got other books mostly written, but once I started going away last year, and thank you, Debra VanSandt, for giving Angelique a shout out. She's absolutely the bomb. I'm so blessed by so many people. But I started going downhill. I kind of lost my ability to write. Even if I could write, I couldn't think well enough to get it out, the written word out. And so I would have the stories up here, but I couldn't get them out. And now that, what I have found is, now that the AirSept has given me back my life, I can write, but I have all these things that I had started, and I don't want to start over. I get that I could start completely over, but I have one book that's just needs 3 more chapters. I have another book that just needs 2 more chapters. I've got all these things. But I tell you guys all the time, I can read. I'm reading comments, okay? So I can read sign language. See me using sign language. So I can read, but I don't have reading comprehension. So I can't even go back and read what I've written and catch up with what I need to write next. And so Angelique and I are working together again. And so you're probably going to see her name on my future books, because I was stuck, wasn't able to go forward at all with publishing books, and she is working with me every week again. I am so thrilled. We are going to move forward on getting my books published, and she is also going to help me. I have been asked to write my life story. Don't know if anything will come of it, but I have been asked to write my life story by an LA producer, and have actually signed. And Angelique is going to help me get that done too. And I could not do any of that without her. We're meeting every week, and what she's helping me do is she gives me a writing prompt, and from that writing prompt I can write. I don't need to go back and read. I don't need to think about anything. I write what she tells me to write about, and then she will take that and put it with the rest of my stories or book or whatever we're working on, and then come back the next week and either ask questions or whatever and tell me what to write about again. And the brain is just so freaking weird. My brain can do that, but it can't do the part that she's doing. So it's just a wonderful partnership, and I am so excited if y'all can't tell. So I'll get to do that now. That's another gift Chuck and Letty gave me that I haven't even thought about. I get to do that now that I'm not going to have to worry about trying to stay alive. And anyway, so there you go. I'm reading y'all's books, and yes, a lot of people are hiring if you're willing to be an at-risk worker. I actually had thought, since I don't have family or anything, and if I had to leave Bandit with Chuck and Letty, that I would maybe just go and see if I could get a job as a janitor or something somewhere. I don't know that I could show up every day. It depends on how episodic I would be. But in this day and age, I would hope that they would be more flexible and work with me with my brain injury. I haven't been able to hold down a job at all, and but I was told that I can't do that. David even said that he's like, honey, I know you want to work, but you just have to accept you're not able to anymore. And so that's something that if you're willing, the Walmarts, the delivery places, all of those places are looking for somebody to do that job. I don't know what I was thinking, because I can't even drive. I didn't look at my bumper before getting here, but I backed into a tree at Chuck and Letty's, backing out because I had to come down to where I could get a good enough signal to talk to you guys tonight. And so anyway, glove up and mask up, Lauri. I don't know who you're talking to, but if they're talking about work, yeah, if they, glove up, mask up, no matter what you're doing, and completely no contact. That's good to hear. You would still be touching a lot of product, Lauri, so be sure and glove up, please. And y'all don't need me telling you what to do. It's just that I care about each of you that are on here. My heart has been heavy for a lot of people. And everybody on here has something. We've got somebody on here tonight that, and I'm not going to call them out, but that recently lost their wife and to cancer, and Doug just got off and he's in the hospital, and I don't think Joan ever said hi, but her niece has been quarantined, as she's a nurse, and she had a patient that died of coronavirus, and everybody on here is dealing with something. And I just love that you guys were on here tonight with me, and we're here to lift each other up. And I keep doing that. We'll be back next Friday. I'll keep putting videos up in the meantime. Join us on Patreon for more updates if you're willing, for as little as $1 a month. Mods, put that link up one last time if you would. And yeah, Gina, everybody on here has had stuff going on, and and I've got a friend that wasn't able to that was in earthquakes and worried about getting to dialysis, and there's just, life is challenging right now. So figure out how you can be love and spread love, not coronavirus. And I'll see you back here next week, everybody, unless there's something else that you guys want to say. Yes, Lucretia, I said that earlier about not using a black gray tank in an RV. And if I was in an RV again, that's what I would have to do, because I can't, the last RV that I had, I flooded even with note cards, and I had lived in one and been working black and gray tanks for a long time, but I can't do that anymore. So I'm glad that the live chat that you joined me on the live chat tonight. I hope that it gave you time, even though we talked a lot about the challenges going on right now. I hope that it gave you a sense of connection and not being alone, and you are never alone. Reach out to me by email if you want. I know I owe some people some emails, and I've been consumed with figuring out where I was going to go and what I was going to do, but I will get caught up now, and you're not alone. All right, and if you are a member of a Patreon on here and a member of the Coco fam, thank you so much. Debra VanSandt, honey, with everything you have going on, you did not need to do that, but thank you so much for that super chat tip. I will pay it forward. I love you guys. Take care of you. Be safe, be happy, be gloved, be masked, be self-isolating, be social distancing, and be love. Bye. Love you. Coco.